Good morning, my friends. Today is the day when I pull my snowboards out of the closet and decide which ones get waxed for this season and which ones go back in the closet. By the way, I have a whole shed outside with all my old boards. You can go back and watch my S-Log video from last year on my 50th birthday where I introduced 50 of my snowboards from my collection. Most of them are kind of rusting away out in the shed there. My favorite boards, the boards that I use and my family uses, they get to stay in the closet in the house. They get the preferred experience. This board is a Gentem Stick Kids board. It is the Flying Fisk? No, that's another whole board. What was this called? You know, I'm so bad with names. I don't remember. I bought this for Sienna, our first daughter, when she was first grade elementary school. It was actually tuned up by T-Tune Takeda-san, who is not with us anymore. Good memories, you know, like no one in our family is going to ride this anymore, but it's literally one of those boards that I should be putting up on the wall. Next, this is another kids board, or board for a very small person, I suppose. It's from their like junior line. A couple years ago, there's some rust on the edges there. Wow, look at that. My youngest daughter might actually ride this board this year, so let's put that one there on the table. Next, we have another Field Earth board. This is the, I can't remember what this one was called either. Why am I so bad with names? I have trouble remembering people's names and product names. I think I have a real issue with that. You know what really confuses me? Cameras. I deal with cameras all the time. GoPro is great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like, they just number them. And that's very nice. But like Sony, you got the A7 IV, the A7 IIIS, the A7R4. Like, what are these numbers? Where do people come up with these combinations? They're so confusing. Sorry, that was a little side rant. This is a beautiful board. This is actually made for a small, like light and small adult rider or a junior rider. It's got that, you know, that 3D shape. My daughters loved this board. Like, from the minute they got on it and test rode it, they were like, that's the board I want to ride. The ease of turning, there's no hooking up an edge, you know. A lot of boards, little boards for little kids, they have too much camber, or maybe they're not detuned enough at the tail and the tip, so kids can hook up, causes you to crash. This board was so smooth and so easy, and it's fast. The kids go fast. Look at that, it's got a racing sole on it. Next, this is a Field Earth split board. I'm definitely going to use this board again this year. I actually got this last year, and the S1, I hope I got that right, swallowtail split board. This one is really nice. Obviously all split boards are kind of soft in flex because they're cut down the middle. Hokkaido and Japan type of mountains and terrain, I think this is like a really good choice of a split board. That needs to be tuned up. Here we go with my other Gentem Stick split board. Now this thing is a beast. If you are a larger or heavier rider, if you ride in, you know, really deep powder, it's really wide. So sometimes if you're too wide on really steep terrain, that's not such a good idea, but moderate terrain, if you carry a heavy backpack or you yourself are rather heavy, this I think is an incredible split board. I had the best day in Kiroro here in Hokkaido. Incredibly deep. I had the heavy camera backpack on and everything, and man, it was just like it's wide and quite stiff. This is built from the Fly Fisk. It's a split of the Fly Fisk, and the Fly Fisk is one of Gentem's, like, you know, stiffest boards they have. So it retains that stiffness, and just the build quality is really impressive. I don't think there's a ton of days to ride this every season. It's not like, it wouldn't be my go-to board. Like, the conditions have to be right, and it has to be the right situation. But when it's on, it is on. Hopefully we'll get a couple nice days on that. Couple more. This is one of my daughter's, actually I believe this was my wife's field earth board, and now my my second daughter has, Safi has taken this one over. This is look at that. It's a beautiful board. Tentacle series. I don't think they call them Tentacle series anymore on the Field Earth brand. They've rebranded the Tentacle series now, but it's a springy, soft, forgiving, fun flex. I wish I could ride this board. It's too small for me, but luxurious to ride. One of me old favorites. Me old Big Fish. It's one of my all-time favorite boards. I just love the vibe you get riding the Big Fish. Swallowtail, wide but soft, forgiving, an incredible all-around experience. This one is very old. It's bamboo. I got this from Takeda-san many years ago, and I got a new one. I rode this board with Tamai Taro, who is the founder of Gentem Stick, the brand itself, and he saw me riding it, and I don't know if he felt sorry for me, or he gave me the new version of the Big Fish, which is this one. He wrote me, like, it didn't even have the name of the board, so he like wrote it in pen on there. That's pretty cool. And it's got a little number. See, it was some kind of sample or demo. It's much stiffer than the old one. So same shape, same board, but different construction. Great at high speeds. High speed powder riding in Hokkaido. Fantastic. For me and my size, I weigh 75 kilos with the backpack and all the gear. There's at least another 10 to 15, so 85, like 90 kilos. More stiffness up here in the nose. You can really like whoosh, really like lay into things. But the old Big Fish still though, like slow speed riding in very mellow powder, just sort of cruising and noodling around with the kids or whatever. Still great experience. We have the TT, this classic Tamai Taro Gentem Stick board. This thing has to be tuned up every year. It's so good. It's like, I don't usually bring it out until late in the season for the spring riding, and especially for the follow shots, usually with Waji in the spring. I usually do like one day with him a year, maybe 2 days. Last year we went to Rusutsu. You can watch that video, maybe click here. It's fast. It's like a rocket. If you open it up and you're like, I need to catch up with someone, you can catch up with them. I can generally be fast enough to keep up with the top riders. Safe and easy to adjust. Again, no catching an edge. This is an amazing piece of equipment, but it's not for everybody. This is the TT 168, by the way. I believe there's like a 60, a 65, and a 68. I think there's 3 sizes, and apparently they're all very different. This is the only one I've ever ridden. It's the only one I can speak to, but apparently it's a bit narrow, and that's people with big feet. You're going to have an issue with drag, and it's just not enough width to really support you in like really deep powder. If it's a little more of a firmer kind of powder and you're in kind of like natural half pipe kind of valleys and stuff, very good board, but it's technical. Last one, my old Mantaray. I continue to come back to this board every now and then, a couple days a season, and ride it just to really, this is a board that changed modern snowboards. I was with Jeremy Jones when he came to Niseko, and we went to the original Powder Company showroom and rental space at Tomoki-san's house in Niseko Moiwa. And we went in there, and Jeremy Jones was just like, he was riding Rossignol at the time, like touching the boards and like, whoa, like he was taking notes. And then very shortly after that, Jones Snowboards debuted, and the Hovercraft. This is the predecessor of the Hovercraft board, for sure. So every now and then, I like to come back to it, revisit this tail shape. Look at that, the sole, even after this thing must be like 15 years old now or something. It's so fast too though. Like old P-Tex, when it's taken care of and it's been waxed properly, it's a beautiful thing. It's so smooth. It's like, this board does not need a wax because it's just like ready to go. Giant Mantaray, excuse me. It's the Giant Mantaray. It's getting colder. We've had a little bit of snow. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. The TT can wait. I'm missing some boards. I gotta go to my shed and find, I need more snowboards. Like and subscribe.